In this video, I'm gonna show you an unboxing of this. I'll show you how to install this, how I installed it into this door. You may be interested in it. There's not many videos at all. I don't think I've really found any where anyone has installed this into a door and shown it to be a functioning, working smart lock. All right, let's get into the video. Righto, in today's video, we're going to be replacing this electronic fingerprint reading door lock. I got this maybe about 3 years ago, but it's time to replace it. This probably costed me about $150. It's got fingerprint technology, keypads appear here, but basically it stopped working after about 3 years. So I'm going to be replacing that with a brand new one. I got this one off AliExpress. This was $149 and it's definitely upgraded a whole lot more than this. And hopefully it should be able to go straight back into the same existing holes. And you'll notice the type of latch system that it's got. It's got many different sort of deadbolts here. Overall, it's not too bad. And just over on this side, this is what the striker plate system looked like. Let's open up our brand new smart door lock and check out what it's like. I'll just say with this one, when I got this one, this came with no English instructions and the whole unit just speaks in Chinese. Hey, you know, it is what it is. I was still able to use Google Translate or something like that to be able to decipher how to set this up. But in any instance, we are talking about, $150 here. Now, if you're buying one that's probably from Bunnings or one of these other companies that make these types of things here in Australia, it's going to cost you about $500 to $800, even more. Okay, for $150, I got 3 years out of this particular one, and $150, I'm getting this one. For my purposes, this is just fine. And I hope I can show you how I install this and how it works. And this may be informative for you. Now, I thought you might be interested in this. There's not too many videos of these Chinese door lock systems online. I probably should have, video recorded when I installed that, but I didn't. Anyway, we'll record this, and this may be of assistance to someone. All right, so what we get with this is, this looks very, very similar to this striker plate. So I'm hoping it should just go straight in. I did make sure that I selected the correct one that sort of matched my old existing one. So we'll put this over here. It has a template guide. This is the main front door unit. Now what this has is, it's actually got a built-in camera right there. And it's meant to be able to detect your face, facial recognition. It's got the fingerprint scanner right there. Here is a whole bunch of numbers. You'll see that all lights up and you can actually press that. It's got a doorbell, it's got some locking button, a card reader. This I think opens up to be sort of like there we go. This opens up to be like a emergency access key entry port. And we will see that as well. That's pretty cool. That's what this one looks like. This is built out of ABS plastic. This is not steel, okay? Obviously that's metal. Here's some cables. So that's that part. And we have here a screen. This screen will be able to show you who's on the outside because you got the camera right there. And this is the screen where you can monitor who's there. Tuya, T-U-Y-A, inside smart lock. This is the inside handle. Let's check it out. So that's what it looks like on the inside. This is sort of a deadbolt from the inside. And over here is where this screen will live. So it's going to go over like that. Let's just put that down here. And then we have like the whole backing plate system that goes on the back here. And it has a weather seal made out of rubber, just there. We've got the striker plate. That is the whole shebang. Now we'll just open up the accessories box and just have a look at all the parts and pieces that come in here. There we go. Nothing else is in there. Micro USB to USB-A. We've got a couple of these smart cards. Oh yeah, this actually goes up on the back of your mobile phone so that you don't have to do a fingerprint or passcode. You just basically swipe this up against the front handle like that on your phone and it'll let you in. It also comes with these smart cards. They kind of look like smart cards to me as well, but you've got 3 of those, 2 of these ones, and you've got sort of the turning post inside. Spring. Oh, check it out. There's actually 4 of these. Hey, there's another one of these. What the heck? So I've got enough of these for 5 phones. Woohoo! We've got a manual here, all in Chinese. All right, so that is pretty useless for us Westerners. It does come with over here a template. We do have some English instructions here. These are some instructions on how to set up your passcodes, your fingerprints, and so forth. One more pack that I'll show you is this one that's marked lock cylinder, and this is what this comes with. Nothing else. So it comes with your locking cylinder, long bolt, and 2 of these. I gather that these are emergency access keys. This never came with my original one, so this is interesting to see. It's pretty cool actually. You'll be keeping this like under a pot plant or something by your front door if you need to make it in, but that's what it looks like. I will just add one more bit of information. If you have a door and you do not have pre-existing locks like I do, you'll have to get it installed. If you're not good with a bit of carpentry work and door lock installation, you'll have to get the help of a contractor or a handyman who knows how to install these things. To cut out the door holes, just how to install that into a door that's got the holes already there. So my first task will be to remove this existing one, and we'll see if the holes match up, because I may still need to do some work with it, but we shall see. Alright, so this is the old one, this is the new one. They're pretty much identical. However, the new one here has a slightly different looking latch. Now these can be flipped around. This one, you can see the orientation of it. I need to flip that one around. The other difference is the old one has this sort of wing, top and bottom. I can't remember what the purpose of that was, but the point of it is that this fits in perfectly for me, apart from changing that around. Now, if we want to turn this latch around to be in the other orientation, which is what I need to do, you'll see up on the side here, it says to lift up something, and that's this actual latch right here. So the idea is we push this up and it pops that out. We can spin this around, and as we orient it around, we just push this knob in there like so, and pop it back here, and then I simply push it into place. And simple as that. So that's pretty cool, very, very clever how you can simply just turn that latch around. Comes with a template, and you'll be using pretty much this template here. You will be using it where you kind of put it on the side. You'll be marking your holes that you need to cut out and then drilling them out as necessary. You need to double check that if you're going to tackle this on your own. Up on the edge of the door here, you've also got sort of another template tells you which holes to drill out, and I've already got mine drilled out from previously. Otherwise, take your time if you're doing it on your own. Otherwise, use a handyman or get someone who knows what they're doing, and they can measure it out and cut this out so that it fits in perfectly. Now, something I have just noticed, I didn't see this before, is that I have an actual cylinder lock to put in here and I don't have a hole. So as you can see, I will need to cut a hole for myself here to accommodate that. Everything else seems to fit just fine, but that hole is the issue. So let's get that cut next. What I've decided to do is actually drill out a few more holes according to the template. So I've just made myself like a little jig, and this will help me to drill some new holes, and I can guide myself a little bit better. So this is just a little bit of like MDF type of material, and it'll just guide me to make my holes the correct size as per their template. Alright, we have now opened up these holes a little bit bigger as per the template that was supplied. Now we're going to be installing it inside. Okay, we've got our front handle and we've got two of these screw-like sections. They are extensions. They go on that bolt and that bolt. So effectively only one side of it goes on because that side fits that bolt. This side is smaller, so it goes on like so, like that. And if you want to make it tighter, it's got some flat sections here where you can get a pair of pliers and twist it. And I'll do the same on this side. There we go. You'll also notice on the front panel here, it's got a little micro switch here. And so listen to this. So the idea of it is once it's installed on the door, it'll be up against it. And if it releases, this is some sort of a sensor that it won't work, or it's an anti-theft type of device. It'll just, you know, no longer operate if it's away from the door. Next up, we're going to be taking our cylinder lock like this, and you see this just spins around. Okay, that's the front, faces outside, and there's actually a little screw hole. You need to use this bolt that goes in from the side to secure it into place. So this goes in, and then this will come through. Don't go too tight. There we go. And what this does now, it rotates the latch. Now what we need to do is actually cut this to about 20 millimeters long. So 20 millimeters from there to there, I'll need to cut this off. And this rod will be going into this, and this is a motor here. And then it can electronically turn the latch open and closed depending on, you know, what password or fingerprint or facial recognition method you use. When you're installing this, you have to chop a couple of parts, like these two bolts will need to be cut at the first line. Central turning mechanism will have to be cut soon. So will this part, and so will this. So we are now going to be putting on this backing plate. This goes on the inside of the door, and then I'll be installing this front part, okay, and it goes up. And this is where these cut bolts will come into play. We're next going to get our backing plate and just make sure the rubber goes against the timber there. This is where we then get our little screws and place it in those locating pins that we screwed on earlier. We've put our screw in there, and we got a nice secure backing plate. And that's the front of it at the moment. Fantastic. Now we're going to work on, you know, putting up these other little extension rods and turning mechanisms, as you'll see. So I'm about to just cut off this extension part. I've got my exact length. This was about, I don't know, 20 millimeters. So I'll just be cutting this off. There we go, beautiful. And there we go, we've just installed that into place. Excellent. Next up we have this part. This will need to be cut down to size very soon. There is a hole here, and this actually goes into this mechanism, which is your deadbolt from inside. Now if you look carefully, there is a hole right there. This goes in there, and then we have to use like this little linchpin to sort of plonk it through. It'll just remain there, just in place. Okay, so we'll do that now. And that's fine. That spins around fine and nothing impedes it. All right, we'll cut this off at the first line. I think that'll be enough. If not, we'll just cut it again. There we go. That cuts really easily. And the last thing we need to do is simply cut this turning key. All right, and this actually goes into the slot just over here. And you'll see it's got these ends here. It'll just sit into place like that. And then from there, we're gonna measure 20 millimeters and cut it off. And that will end up going into the turning handle right here for that. Okay. All right, so I've just cut this to size, and I've just cut it with a grinder. And this is going to be going in now. There we go. There is a spring, and it needs to go inside here. And this part here will be compressing into there. So there'll always be a bit of a spring tension right there. So we now need to connect the cable to this. We need to insert that, and this into the slot down here. So this is probably the trickiest part of them all, in just trying to get it all connected and then compress it all together. And just have a little look how I'm wrapping this cable around, because this is going to be sort of getting in the way. So you kind of snake it around like I've done here. There, just pushing it into place, and that should be pretty okay for when I compress it together. There we go, found that one. And now I just need to put the screws in, and that's pretty good. With those 4 screws now put in place, the whole thing is where it's meant to be located. Excellent. Great. Excellent. We'll just close it up against the existing striker plate. Cool. And there we go. So I'm going to be leaving the existing striker plate there. That still is exactly the same as the one that I just purchased. But, you know, if you need to install one for yourself, well, this isn't that hard, but you will need to drill a few sections out. Okay, as per the striker plate like this. Now this comes with a battery here. I don't really know what kind of battery it is. I cannot read anything except it says 7.4 volts. And that's about it. You'll notice on the back there, it's got some power slots, and they will actually go into this part here. On the front, it's got a micro USB input like this, 5 volt 2 amp in. And when you have to charge it, well, you're simply going to plug it in like so. and there is a little red light that is on to show that it's charging. So we're now going to be putting in the battery for the very first time, and it's pretty easy to just locate. Just made a noise. Startup, board, normal, okay. And then we're going to be putting the cover plate on, like so. However, I've just noticed on the back there, it has like a couple of barcodes, and I think this will be the app. I'll scan that. This will be the Tuya app, and I'll put that onto my phone. All right, I'll press this, and the screen turns blue. I think now it's time for me to try setting this up. Please adjust your position. Yeah, so I'll go through the process. It looks like this is turning on to get my facial recognition. I'll try setting it up now. It's a bright light.